Poison builds has always had a special place in Grounded 2, but if you put the right pieces together, you can take it way beyond just dot damage. This is one of those setups that feel almost unfair when it's working: silent takedowns, constant pressure, and enemies that barely get a chance to fight back. Hi, my name is Fervor, welcome back to the channel, and today we're breaking down my Venomous Assassin setup. A build designed to stack poison damage, parry incoming hits, and delete enemies with brutal efficiency. We'll cover the full gear loadout, the best mutations to run, and I'll also show you two variants of the build, one that's focused purely on ambush damage and one that's more suited for direct combat and boss fight. With that said, let's begin. Now that you guys have a better idea of what the build is, let's talk about putting it together. And yes, I'm in photo mode because I don't know how to look at my character. If you know how to do it, feel free to let me know down in the comments because I don't know how to do it. Anyway, let's go over the different parts. I'm going to give you some alternative options, and I'm going to tell you where to go get them and things of the sort, because that's really important. So generally speaking, we're going to be utilizing the wolf spider set. Now obviously I know for a lot of you at this point in the game, you're not going to have the wolf spider available. By the time you get to about tier 2, you should be able to kill the wolf spider with this build, but nonetheless, for those of you who are at the point where you have the ability to kill the wolf spider, we're building around the wolf spider, and we're actually building around another set, because as a ambush style setup, you don't necessarily always ambush everything. You ambush some things, but when you go into boss fights, you're not capable of ambushing them, so you know, we build it very differently. Ultimately, the weapon we're going to be using is the Wolfbane's Fang. The simple reason is because what we care about most with our weapon is the raw damage that it does. While this one actually has a pretty solid effect, the raw damage on this one is so much higher that it makes more sense. Plus it inflicts venom, and that actually works really well for both setups that we're going to be using, because we're going to be using two for this specific build. As you guys probably come to expect, you will need to kill a wolf spider to be able to actually get this. You need 2 fangs, 4 chunks, 4 spider venom, and 2 silk ropes. If you're looking to find them, I'm not sure if every player knows this, but I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. If you're trying to find anything, you can just come here and look for it. You can toggle where certain things are on the map. So there's 2 wolf spiders here in this area, 1 here, and typically 1 where I live. That's why I built here specifically. Now the reason we want this is obviously it does venom attack. You build up venom on hitting, and it will deal damage over time. We want the venom to proc other effects that's going to help with this set, and that's super important. But the venom is kind of negligible, but the actual benefit of poisoning things are actually really good. Now moving on to the set that we're going to talk about, because I want to go over the armor sets that you're going to be picking up. When you're playing the more ambush style, when you're going behind enemies and you're stabbing them and you're trying to one-shot them, you're actually going to continue to use the northern set. So as a tier 2 set, this is ideal in my opinion because of the effects. We're going to swap this on very quickly so you guys can see the actual effects. And the reason we want this set here, first off, you get the rogue benefit. Whenever you do your final hit, you will have a higher crit chance on your 3rd hit, and this actually synergizes really well. We'll go over the trinket, which is going to be the astonishing asset. I'm pretty sure you just get this one from picking up any asset, but it's finale damage, and this is when you do your 3rd hit, it will actually do more damage. And seeing that the rogue has insane synergies, but giving you the ability to actually deal higher crit on the 3rd hit, you have a very high chance of dealing a ton of crit. And that's why when you see me hit things after they get stunned, and I hit them 3rd time, they just get chonked, and that's because the crit plus increased damage is really high. Now this set also comes with you deal increased damage to enemies affected by venom. So the moment you actually hit them, you're going to put venom on them, and if they survive the hit, which a lot of them will, the moment you start punching them again, they're just going to die because you're increasing damage and more damage. Now the reason why we use this set over the other set is for this passive, specifically for this gear. Creature you ambush with melee attacks are stunned, and this is every single creature that I've seen so far, except for well, I guess the bosses were already like looking at me, so that doesn't count. But this make it so you actively will stun them. So a lot of times you'll see, and I'll probably have some footage playing, where I'll walk up to a wolf spider, I'll hit him in the back, instantly take like 70+% of his HP stunned, and then I hit him like you should be able to get like 6 hits out by that time it comes out of stun, and you've already crit multiple times, and you're just dealing so much to them that they just get overwhelmed with damage. And that's kind of the whole core concept of this build. And as you see the stats that we have 30 200% crit chance almost, which is absolutely maddening amount of crit. Almost 1 in 3 hits will crit, which is pretty big. We have 200% crit multi on this. The stats don't matter too much here, HP, stamina, because we just stay in the fight, but for the most part this is what we're looking at. Now for our main set, we're going to be using this set, the wolf set. Now the reason we want the wolf set is for combat focus. So whenever you're fighting a boss, you're going to swap to this set, and what this set does is whenever you deal your dashing strike, you're going to inflict them with venom buildup. Is deadly venom. Melee hits might increase venom damage for a short duration, and then obviously with your astonishing thing, you're just going to be building up so much venom, and then with the actual weapons itself, you're going to be building up a lot of venom as well. So this is just a very good combat focus setup. Whenever you're fighting enemies who are weak to spicy, we keep the spectacular spicy shard. This is a drop that you can get fairly easy, and what it does is it adds flat fire damage, well, spicy damage to all your melee attacks. And so whenever you're fighting wolf spiders, if that's who your target is, you'll just swap these out, because I do think this is fundamentally better, because I think they're resistant to venom. But if you have someone who have a weakness matchup to this, you want to make sure you go ahead and swap to that. For those of you who want to know where you can find the spicy shards, as you can see here, tons of spicy shards here. I find on the picnic table to be the best. It's like, I think there's like 5 or 6 up here, but this is not showing. But as you can see here, there's a lot of spicy stuff near where I live. This is an insane area to live, by the way. This build should be able to kill just short of everything reliably. Obviously, if you're going against a ladybug or something that's weaker to blunt, you'll deal more damage if you had blunt, but you still can kill them relatively easy. You just won't one-shot them like you can one-shot most other things. Now, for those of you who are not far along enough to get the wolf set, we're going to be actually using the other set. We're going to be using the Weaver legging set, or the Weaver set, because the Weaver set is actually really good, all things considered. Now, the great thing about this set is this perk here, specifically critical momentum. And the reason why this one's good is successful attacks increase crit chance, stacking up to 5 times, and you lose the stack when hit or combos ends. Now this is really big for that early game when you don't have a ton of crit and you don't necessarily are able to ambush the opponent that you're fighting. You can swap to this set here, which is fairly easy to get, and you actually end up critting a ton with it too. I think Grounded did a very good job of making even like the tier 2 sets really powerful. So for those of you who are not actually able to get the wolf set, this is going to be an alternative set that you can use, and then you can pair it with the Weaver daggers, because the Weaver daggers are pretty good in themselves. Not as good as the other ones, but you know, you're probably going to use this for fighting. Swap over to the wolf set whenever you can, and then you're always going to have the northern set for ambushing, and that's super important. Now, coming over to mutations, there are 2 setups for this. There's the A setup and B setup. One is the fight setup and one is the ambush setup. So first, let's go over our fight setup. For our fight setup, we're going to be getting Assassin, dual wield strikes with crit precision, daggers and sickle deal bonus damage with crit hits, and this is just a crit multi. So you get Assassin, and then you get dagger mastery kills with this will increase crit chance for a short duration. So more you kill, the higher your crit chances, and then whenever you're fighting things with a lot of adds, you'll notice you'll start to chunk a lot more because you'll have more crit. Then of course Assassin, you just deal more damage. Really good. Moving on to our combat abilities, Parry Master. I mean, this one is a mandatory for most builds. Perfect blocks restore stamina. This keeps you in the fight for a very long time, and that's going to be your primary form of defense because, I mean, you're going to be parrying a lot, so really big. You're not going to be able to get this if you're early into the game. You need to defeat the mysterious stranger, so you need to beat the base story. But you deal increased damage with melee weapons and regenerate health while enraged, but the perfect block timing is reduced. This is super good. Frenzy is going to give you so much extra damage when you're fighting enemies, and this is going to be perfect for bosses because you can't necessarily ambush them, so you don't care about ambush, right? Now alternatively, if you don't have Frenzy, I can highly recommend just getting any of the like resistances to the enemies that you're going to go face off against. That'll keep you alive, or even Natural Explorer, because being able to move fast is still like good. Like being able to get in position is really good. And then of course for our survival, we're going Cardio Fan. This is just good for stamina. You're going to be fighting constantly and you don't really want to stop fighting. You're going to be punching parrying, punchy parrying, and just stamina sustain is really high with this. And this keeps you in a fight longer. So that's our a combat or attack version. For our ambush version, it's going to be very similar. You're going to be using Assassin, going to use Parry Master, but you're going to put ambush obviously, and this is going to greatly increase your crit multi, and this does a ton of damage. The difference between 2 and 3 I think was like 30%. I don't know the exact number, so don't quote me on that, but it was really big. And then of course ambush, this is really big. It's just gonna basically guarantee that you get a crit when they're unaware. And then finally exploration, this is one I need to finish, but the quickness is really big because you just want to move faster. Like there's really no reason not to move faster. You're going to be stalking your opponents, you're going to be trying to get behind them and, you know, get in position to land your crits. There's opportunities where you need to move faster to get to them, and having natural explorer in my opinion is really big. And there you have it. That wraps up the Venomous Assassin build. Whether you're sneaking about picking enemies off one by one or diving headfirst into the chaos with poison blade swinging, this setup absolutely shreds when used right. It's fast, it's deadly, and it's a ton of fun once you get the rhythm down. If you end up giving this build a shot, let me know how it ends up working out for you, or if you need some tweaks of your own that push it even further. If you find this build helpful or just like this kind of content, consider subscribing. I'm covering everything Grounded 2 and all major survivals releasing this year, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. My name is Fervor, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.